Hi.
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 We are more than Jones-Scanlon monitors. We are the creators, designers of them. We've introduced ourselves before, Steve and I, but we'd like to introduce you to really the nitty-gritty of what we do and who designs this driver for us. Michail Barabasz from Lorantz Audio.
Thank you.
And he's going to...
Thank you.
He's going to have a little chat from his point of view and what he does. So, all yours, Michail.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll start off with my career. Basically, my career is electrical engineering and electronic engineering in Australia. And I was fortunate to get a job at Plessy Roller, one of the loudspeaker manufacturing businesses in Australia. And I worked in the R&D department and then moved, when they couldn't find a loudspeaker engineer, they said, would you like the job? And I sort of, not really. I said, that'd be a rather simple job, wouldn't it, a loudspeaker design? Well, because I couldn't find a suitable person, I became the loudspeaker engineer, and I am still learning today. And what I've discovered with loudspeakers is it's a simple product, but a very complex nature. And getting a speaker to perform well is both science and art and a lot of factors. And therefore, when Plessy closed, I started my own business and formed my own company, Lorantz Audio Services, where it has grown from the ground up to meet the requirements of my customers. So at Lorantz, what makes us unique is the fact that we pulp our own paper, so we make our own loudspeaker paper cones. But apart from that, we also make our own tooling. And why do we make our own tooling? We could buy a cone from somebody else. No, because when we buy a product, we find that there are things that are not quite right. Because of my passion, and my real passion is not just to make loudspeakers, we want to make the best that we can make. And to do that, A, you have to understand the product, and B, you have to have the flexibility to actually refine the tooling to do the job. And that's why we bought a CNC lathe. We make our own cone tooling. We CNC the magnet parts. We then bought a mill. We then bought a laboratory paper refiner to refine the paper to the degree of beating to get the optimum damping and loudspeaker cone. And we've got to give credit to the people in the industry that allowed us and the tools to work with these, and Neville Thiel in Australia for his contribution to speaker box design. He formulated the mathematics that allows us to optimize cabinet design. And then to Wolfgang Klippel, who took a step further in looking at the nonlinear components of a loudspeaker. And now we understand those, but again, we have to implement that software and that understanding the nonlinear. To get the best performance, we have to understand the nonlinearities and then implement them into the product. And that has taken basically the majority of my life. Who would have thought that a simple product, piece of paper, some copper coil and a magnet. cook and shoot.
What do you do with that simple piece of paper?
Yes, and as my customers told me, Michail, it's in your product, it's all about the refinement. You just take it to the nth degree. And that's basically probably they've summed that up. And it's because of my passion. It's my passion is not just to make loudspeakers. My passion is to make the best loudspeakers, and that's always been my passion. And I've just been fortunate with good health, a factory where we've got the facilities to do that, and surrounded by lovely people, Wayne, Steve, that have helped me in the journey, because we have to have a team. Because I can't do this by myself. I can make good product, but does it fit the purpose? Does it meet the requirements of the industry? And you need professional people around you to actually guide you in this process. And I've been very fortunate to have the right people around me to guide me in my development process to come up with the products that we have today. And I think that's why we have something that's special, different and unique.
Very unique. and you're very talented, very talented.
Well, thank you. But, because it's my passion, I don't consider myself to be special. I just love what I do. I love making loudspeakers, and I made these particular drivers. This was probably the most difficult year because of COVID, and as a result of that, most of these drivers, I would say, I personally made myself because I wanted the right amount of glue, the right amount of care put into them, because I know that they were important. And I think that all of these little things, and we can do that because my business is about not making volume production. It's about making it scaled into a quality business where we do quality kind of work. And that's why our cone plant, it doesn't make 5,000 loudspeakers as the Plessy loudspeaker cone plant did and was automated. It's computerized, but it still has hands-on requirements. So each cone gets checked, tested, and looked at before it's put in the loudspeaker.
The whole product range is handmade.
And that's how it's made.
Every part of this is handmade.
It is handmade, and
totally consistent left and right speaker.
Yes, absolutely.
I think you got your passion for what you do your part is, your passion for your part, and mine for my part. You can't really go wrong when you put three people with experience and skills and passion into something that's needed in the world.
Absolutely.
And we're all smiling just like, when we listen to them. Even Michael walked in for this recording. He couldn't believe what he'd done, But it takes the three of us, of course. But we're very, very grateful for what you've done.
Very grateful, Michael.
Yeah,
we work with Michael in the ways that I can never forget. Firstly, going to you and with my bass gear and say, I want this out of a 10-inch speaker.
Yeah.
He said, you want what out of a 10-inch speaker?
You need cone area, a lot of displacement. I mean, it's a very demanding application, and you want it to come out from that little box. It's a tough challenge, but it can all be done with care. And if you understand the engineering and you understand what can be done, you can make the best product, and it will stand up for itself in that application, because when everything is refined and we start, the way I do my design is I start backwards. I ask the customer, what do you actually want? What SPL do you want to have? What power amplifier is going? Let's then work out the excursion requirements, the power handling of the voice coil, and then we build the driver up. And because we make our own parts, we can actually make all those parts from scratch. And we have the software to do that. We're in a very fortunate position to do that.
And so we, in fact, we can go back to Michael then and say, well, this might need attention in a certain area. We've got it to a point where we don't even do that anymore. We're ever trying to better ourselves.
Yeah.
But we're so lucky to have, who in the world can go to any speaker manufacturer and say, oh, we need to maybe concentrate on this area like we do. It's all mass produced. Yeah. So we're unique, and we're loving every minute of it.
Every minute of it, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was very fortunate because in my early days, we did a lot of work with CSIRO, and they advised us on specific pulps to use and processes. And we've worked from that, and I've worked on that and taken it further by adding different other fibres to improve the strength and damping and tear strength, because you learn, it's only when you do 40 years of paper cone making that you actually acquire those skills. It's like if I pick up a guitar, I won't be able to play well in 1 year or 2 years.
You just bought a ukulele.
I did. I've always wanted to play guitar, and I've set up a lot of bands in my early days, and I did win some competitions. And they said, Michael, your skill is electronics and the ability to put a good system together. Don't waste your time trying to play something or become a musician which you're not good at. And that was probably the best advice that I had, because I've had a great career in making loudspeakers, and it's been an enjoyable journey, I must say, and I hope it can continue for many years on.
No, we're going to keep it going, that's for sure.
That would be lovely. I mean, nothing would make me happier. It's we all have a passion, and it's my passion. My passion is audio, and in particular loudspeaker component. Although I'm also skilled in electronic design,
yeah.
and I designed the sound system for Vietnam War, the helicopter, the ground. That was my first job, and that's how they made me into a loudspeaker engineer, because I thought that I had special skills. And I go, I think those sort of skills came from my father, who was a good engineer, and he taught me a lot of electronics. So electronics to me is second nature. To these people, it's music. Is your nature. You're brought up with that. I was brought up with electronics from a child. I could build a radio, I think, when I was 12 years old or something. You know? And I didn't think much of that. Other people thought, you can do that? I go, yeah.
And we all have our gifts.
We're just gifted. We're gifted in different areas, and I was fortunate that I had great parents that put me through university, and that's a great starting point.
You've got a pretty good wife there that handles everything you do.
Oh yeah, I should give credit to my wife.
There's just two of them.
Sorry. Yeah, my wife is probably the greatest asset I have, because she tolerates me, and I would think that I'm probably not the easiest person to work with, because I'm demanding and I want things right, and I get very upset when things aren't done to my satisfaction.
And
so
you're working together 24 hours a day.
Yeah. So, but we have a great relationship, and no, we both benefit from this. And it's been a great pleasure. It's been a great journey for me, and I didn't ever think that I would still be making loudspeakers, and yet I'm still learning today, and I still model, and every night I will Google and see what's new out there, because it's like it's a passion, you know.
It's stimulating your brain as we all get older.
Oh,
too.
absolutely. It keeps you young. I find that doing all this, and especially the software side, I've had to learn finite element, I've had to learn CAD/CAM. At later years of my life, I've had to learn to program, and I can program all my machines, I can write all the software. I can machine now, which I initially thought I'd never do, but you do. It's just evolves. As the demand, as you know yourself, demand comes, new software in the recording, you have to keep up to date. You have to apply it, you have to learn. It's all part of thing. But the most important thing, if you want to be successful, is perseverance. And that's that you've got to keep at it. Even if you go, oh, this is hard. What I've learned is, if it's easy to do, anybody can do it. So if you want to be special and you want this sort of quality, you need perseverance. You need to work on those things that are difficult, because that gives you the edge, because other people don't want to spend that time. You know, yourself, it doesn't come easy. None of it comes easy. It's hard work.
The satisfaction comes beautiful after.
You get the satisfaction, yes.
I think
that's the rewards that you get for your hard work. And I think...
we're
all enjoying that.
At the start of it all. And I think, on that note, I think we will leave it there. And we're so grateful for Michael coming and having a chat.
Oh, thank you for the invitation. It's lovely to be with professional people like yourself, and to see my product out there and working, because I don't see the final. Mostly I don't see the final product. I do the prototyping, I do the testing, and then when it's out there, I don't travel very far because of my age. I don't like to travel, but so I really get the opportunity to see my final. I only get to see and test the prototype and refine those things. And once it's done, it's only a ongoing refinement process to keep it going.
Unless we ring you up and make you come somewhere.
Yes. And boy, wow, it was a pleasure. I couldn't believe when Steve said to me, "You've got to come over, have a listen to this." And I'm going, oh, I've heard so many of my mates have got hi-fi systems and world-renowned hi-fi system, and they're going, I've heard lots of loudspeakers, and I go, I've heard my loudspeakers, but I must say, when I came over, it made my hair stand up, and I think we were there till nearly daylight, and it just went on. We could have we just could have kept listening. I think I started at 7 and we finished 3 in the morning, and I'm going, I've got to go home eventually. And
it was great.
That was so enjoyable, and it wasn't tiring. It was like, and
fascinating.
the bass, I just go, oh wow! Now I can see what you're talking about. The definition in that lower mids to me is the best I'd heard of any speaker system. I mean, I know the mid-range is good, always good, and very low distortion, but generally the bass is cloudy, and it was just astounding. And thank you for the invitation. It get me to, because rarely do I hear my product in a recording studio where it is optimised.
You're definitely hearing them here too.
You've got a garden of them behind you.
Yes, no, I heard them here as well, and it's nice to see the fruition of all that hard work come through to this. I mean, credit to these lovely people here for their passion to actually come to me and give me a job to do, to create this, because on my own, there's no way this would have happened. No way.
Well, we're grateful. On
been a
that
great
note, I
journey.
think we should wind
It has
up
been a lovely journey.
this little session. And,
Yeah.
All right.
I think
We'll
so.
see you all next time, folks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Till we meet again.
Yeah.
Yeah.